Hi, this is Quisha, Cynthia, Tanya, and Abby. We're back again, and this week we're discussing positive things that have come from your time in quarantine or just positive things that have happened to you in general since the pandemic has started. We have done some research on things that, news outlets say or media outlets say has happened with people positive things. And we have also did personal research with social media, putting the question out there to our friends and families and people that we know to see some positive things that have happened to them since this time of the COVID-19 pandemic and their time in quarantine. I will go first with some things that I have found and some things that people said have happened to them and my own personal testimonial of positive things that have happened to me or have been a product of this time in quarantine. So, first, I spoke with the people in my own home. I spoke with my two teenage children. I have a 17-year-old daughter and an 18-year-old son. And my 17-year-old daughter said that one positive thing that has happened to her due to the quarantine that she has gained more tolerance for her family and her mom, which is me. 17-year-old girls and mothers seem to have a lot of friction in our life. And during this time, I can say that our relationship has gotten better because we're forced to be home with each other all day. She can't leave and go with friends, and I can't go anywhere. So we're forced to communicate better. We're forced to interact on a better level, get to know each other better, because sometimes you think you know the people in your house until you have to spend 24 hours, 7 days a week with them. And then you get to know that you don't know people just as well as you thought you did because you're gone for 8 hours a day work and they're gone for 8 hours a day going to school or going then after school going to sports or whatever extracurricular activities they have. They're with their friends, you're with your friends, you're with your spouse or your loved one. So when you have to be in the home spending a lot of quality time together, you can either fight against each other and just have a horrible time, or you can learn how to communicate and get along. And that is what my daughter and I have done. We have strengthened our relationship a lot, and we have gained a lot more tolerance for each other. My 18-year-old son said that he's been working on not being as lazy and also making money and learning how to deal with people. Certain people is what he said. So he's been enhancing his business. He has a sandwich business that he has, and he's just been really pouring himself into that and learning to, during this time where we can just literally lay around and do nothing all day, he's working on not being lazy, trying to push himself to get up and do things. I also spoke with some people on social media, and I messaged some friends, and I asked them the question. And one of my responses was a girl, she finished her rental house. So she has a rental house that no one was in because she didn't have time to work on it to get it ready for rent. And now she had time, her and her husband, to finish it and got it rented. And someone is living in there now. So she found that time since work is on hold and school is on hold. I also got a response that said, I have successfully rebranded my business. So she said that she had time to put time into rebranding her business and making her business better. She didn't have that time before. She was just, running the business, not actually pouring herself into it. So she had more time to do some more behind the scenes things to make her business better. Another response that I got was I had time to get my bathroom done. Also got new electric and fixed all the doors to work properly and got my roof redone. So it was a lot of home projects, a lot of rental property projects as well. She said her rental property So she had time to get things done that maybe she didn't have time to do before. And probably it comes from noticing stuff. Since you're at home more, you notice what needs to be done at your home more because you're like, oh, okay. Other times you're in and out so much, you're like, yeah, that needs to get done, but you really don't focus on it. When you're at home, you kind of see every little imperfection. She said that she's more grateful to God during this time because he has been really good to her. And she had time to renovate her rental property. That was another response. I had another response from a lady that says she's doing a business and it's blessed. She started a business, a cookie business, and it's really blessed. So she makes cookies, different kind of cookies, keto cookies and just regular cookies. And it's been a really big blessing to her. I have another response that says that she made a website for her business, so now people can book her online and it doesn't have to be through like text messages. She's a hairstylist. So she said she now has a website. She had time to build her website and make her webpage accessible to her clients. So another response says, I've dedicated myself to my basket business and it's going well. And I obtained my associate's degree. That's a blessing that we all know how it is to be in school during a pandemic. So to get your degree and work hard is a great accomplishment. I have one that says, I'm fixing so many things around my house. And that was the last response that I got from social media. So what I'm seeing in my response is a trend of people doing a lot of home projects, a lot of starting businesses. I saw that, like I've been seeing that. Me personally, I have really had time to work on my business that I have, selling desserts and making desserts and things like that. So I found a lot more time to be able to do that because I'm home more. Before I was at school, at work, going to the kids' school, parent day, and all different type of stuff, running everywhere, and I didn't have time to just really sit down and focus on craft that I've always had. And now I found time to do that. And I've also, another positive thing for me is just being able to spend quality time with my kids. I have 7 kids and my husband, and just really having great conversations and just really getting in depth about things, getting to know how they feel, what they're thinking, what I'm thinking, and learning how to give each other space. Like we're in a house together, but we give each other space because, you know, we're one person may be in one room but it's not like we don't want to be around each other. Just like you just learning that people need their personal space just like you need yours. And also just making up fun games. We're bored at home, so we've been making up games to play. So that is another positive thing that has happened since the quarantine and the pandemic. So next, we're going to have Cynthia, and she's going to tell us what her research was and things that she has done. Take it away, Cynthia.
All right, thank you, Quisha. I have 2 people that responded to my Facebook post about positive things that has happened to them during the pandemic. One young lady said that she has more time to reflect on things that she wants to accomplish. And then I had another young lady that says that she's reading a lot of books and she's up to 40 books. So that's very impressive. She loves reading books. And I, for myself, what I've accomplished is the ability to have the opportunity to work from home. I've been working from home since the 15th of April. So that's been a blessing because I get to spend more time with my son, my family. my significant other, my fiance. And also, I did some research and learned some other interesting things that's positive that people have been doing, which people are finding new and more creative ways to communicate with one another by using Zoom, Microsoft Teams. People are pausing to appreciate the natural world. Also, they are offering to purchase their neighbors' groceries. They are having their heads hanging out of the window, singing songs and playing instruments to one another. People have created more food pantries to help those who are less fortunate. They are gardening more. I have a friend that has started a garden in her backyard, and they said that when people they walk past and see all this gardening and the beautiful flowers and stuff like that, it uplifts other people's spirits because you can smell the beautiful flowers in the air and just see how beautiful it is. And lots of restaurants have offered essential workers free food, like McDonald's is one of them, Dunkin' Donuts, and Wendy's. So I think that was a positive outcome. Schools are still offering to feed students, especially for kids that's not as fortunate as some of us. You know, they still need those healthy meals. People have found creative ways to celebrate students' graduations by having people stay in their cars, blowing their horns as they pass by, and then they might drop off a gift or two as well. People are cooking more and trying new and yummy recipes, and they are sharing them with others. They're not being selfish. Nurses and doctors are being recognized for their hard work. Many claps and cheers. They are receiving many claps and cheers as they enter the job, whereas that has never happened before in our lifetime. So that's a positive. First responders, healthcare professionals are being surprised with free groceries at the checkout line. People are given the opportunity to work from home, which is a good because they get to spend more quality time with their children. More hospital workers are dancing to distress. The coronavirus pandemic is inspiring people to come up with new creative ways to show their love, support for their families and friends. Newspapers, delivery man bringing groceries to senior citizens. So more people are catering to senior citizens and helping them because a lot of them are not able to get out and do things on their own. Staff members are praying now together, whereas you didn't used to see that. You see a lot of employees, they'll go up on the top of the roof, they pray together. So that's a positive outcome that they have incorporated prayer into the situation. Math teacher, and then the one thing that really was positive, it was a student struggling with his math. And he couldn't catch on or grasp it with the Microsoft Team. I'm not sure if they was using Microsoft Team or if they was using the Zoom. So she went to his house and she stayed on the porch, of course, and she bought him one of those whiteboards. And so they practiced the social distance. He was over there, she was on the porch, and she helped him with his homework. I thought, and that made the news. I thought that was very interesting. Also, health workers are being cheered on by the communities. Like, you know, you have airplanes flying in the air, recognizing all the essential workers, and it's just a positive experience for us all. Thank you. That's all. Tanya? Tanya is on mute.
What are some positive things that have happened during the time you have been in quarantine? I've done some research and found out the Insider had done a couple some searches on people far as how they're doing it with the quarantine. One man said the most important thing I've had as a result from quarantine is how to appreciate the little things in life and look at the bright side. It also showed him good anticipation about the new normal that we are all facing, he said. A man named Boca, as a resident of Florida, said that the slow pace of life has given him a chance to catch up and breathe and having the time to pay close attention to his kids saying something. Because usually he doesn't have a lot of time to like pay attention to his kids, and they're usually asking him different things, and he really doesn't tune in to them. So this is giving him the time to tune in, pay attention to them, and listen, and have a conversation with him. And he said what he does, he's enjoying the evening strolls without the family or with the family. A lady named Lucy Linder, she's a native New Yorker. She says she really loves the quiet time alone. She said not socializing gives her an opportunity to sit and reflect on her life, her mistakes, her strengths, and frankly, all the things that she has done right and accomplished over the years. She said less time in silence has helped her to focus on her mental and physical health. For her mind, she's seeking more time in prayer. And for her body, she's taking regular walks in the forest. And she says she's loving reconnecting with herself. The 60-year-old that lives in Chattanooga, Tennessee, says she has found new ways to do many things she used to pay for, and they are turning out better for her. So basically, what she's doing now, she's coloring her hair, she's doing her nails, she's doing false eyelashes, and she's saying that she's discovering new things about herself. And what she likes about that is also she's having time to basically save her money and learn how to just do everything herself, and she's enjoying that time. We have another isolation in Miami Beach, Florida resident. She said she engages in more random and spontaneous activities because of the quarantine. Even sometimes she follows a structured work day, but she takes breaks to indulge in just basically creative pursuits. She's gotten even candlelights. She's even started making candles. She's sewing, she's baking, she's painting, and arts and crafts. She's like enjoying doing things with herself. A 25-year-old that lives in Guatemala learned that he is more of an extrovert. He realized that there's a side of him that really needs and likes to be around people. He said he is currently doing video chatting, playing video games with his friends, and he also gets to see his favorite local musicians doing social distancing concerts. So he's really taking time and like learning who he is. And he said it's great in the sense that I now have company for a lot of activities that I used to do not that he used to not have time for. It's a 27-year-old blogger lives in Bali. She has discovered that she is truly an introvert. She said just an extroverted introvert. She stated she is doing completely fine. She enjoys the confinement, staying at home to work on her projects. She loves to blog, cook, watch TV, read, and do yoga, and spend time alone with her partner. She realized that the importance of having space and alone time is good. In Pennsylvania, there's a 61-year-old. She's a workaholic and an overachiever. Instead, she is learning how to slow down and still accomplish what needs to be done, she says. Now, since her time has slowed down, she is able to savor quiet moments. In Phoenix, Arizona, there's a 30-year-old. She said that she was neglecting her inner child and doing so contributed to a lot of anxiety. Now that she's at home, she feels she has been given permission to doodle. She loves to build forts and dance in her undies. And it has been amazing for her being right now in quarantine at home because she's learning herself all over again. Is a woman that lives in Brentwood, California, says she's working on some book writing goals. which keeps her behind the computer doing research, reaching out and watching webinars, which she loves and she enjoys herself. She says she values her private time because it allows her the opportunity to reevaluate, reconfigure, which is what she planned to do prior to the pandemic anyway. There's a 30-year-old male that lives in Lucknow, India. He discovered he has the ability to fight for a global cause and inspired himself to create a health and wellness blog called OurPositiveStay.com. He said through the blog, he is spreading awareness about chronic hepatitis B, the disease he is suffering from. Instead of focusing on the negative during the pandemic, he decided that it would be best to nurture himself and others with positive regarding fighting a chronic and global illness. Now, I had one response from Facebook about something positive that came out of quarantine for her, and she said that basically this quarantine has teaching her to refocus, is giving her the ability to relax and discover new things. For me, being in quarantine, what positive has came out of it is I can say spending more time with my family is teaching me to be more patient, to give more of myself. But what it also has taught me is, well, the positive thing he has shown me basically is how important life is. Sometimes we take things for granted that we have. So it's teaching me basically to have more gratitude and patience and just to be more thankful for what I have, not what I don't have. And what I have basically experienced a lot right now is like me and my teenage daughter, we're talking more. We're usually she's an introvert, so she's usually stuck in her room. She doesn't socialize a lot, but during this quarantine, she's basically come out of her room more. I find me and her watching Netflix every night, basically every night at a certain time. We stop what we're doing and we go and we watch a Netflix, something she may want to watch, something I may watch. So we're having more alone time, just me and her one-on-one. And I kind of see by me doing that her attitude is changing. She's more positive. She's more open. She's not basically having an attitude with me all the time. So that's something good have come out of quarantine. And also, me and my family, we begin to be more active. We're doing everyday walks now since the quarantine has started. We're walking every day, an hour walk every evening we walk. And I think that's also bringing me and my family close together because as we're walking, we're talking about what's going on, how we feel, what we plan to do, what the future brings for us as far as what are our next goals as a family. So basically, we've had the time to basically reflect on what we need to do next. And I found some information on 100 things that brings us joy during the coronavirus pandemic. And someone said that nabbing a pack of toilet paper at the grocery store is basically bringing them joy during the pandemic. Another person said walking my dog went from sometimes a chore to unbridled joy. And another parent said that my teenager has time to hang out with me. And cooking something new is a big thing as far as this pandemic. Going fishing and pimping out your horse in Animal Crossing, whatever that means. I don't know what that is. Oh, Lord. A couple more things I came across was a person basically saying they're having joy when they have sunny days. They're finding a great new show to binge on as far as Netflix. Video chatting and happy hours with friends and family or colleagues has basically brought a lot of joy for people. And that's about everything I have found out about what makes people, what's bringing some positive in people's life as far as the quarantine or pandemic.
All right. And then for me, just kind of like some positives. I did some that I personally found and some that I got from others and some that I hope comes out of it. So like for me, some positives that I found are I'm actually saving a lot of money. not just on gas and driving to work, but like daycare isn't cheap at all. And I'm a single mom, so it's really hard to just kind of scrounge up enough money to send him to daycare. So I'm saving a lot of money. I'm spending a lot more time with my son, even though I do have to work from home and do a lot of more work. And sometimes I feel guilty for not spending more time with him. But like before all of this, there were times where I'd only see him for about an hour or 2 hours before I'd have to hand him off to whoever was going to watch him before I could go to the next job. So that's another thing, is spending a little more time with him. Another thing was that I found was slowing down more. And by that, I mean like not driving from place to place and running as many errands, which I did a lot before the pandemic. So just kind of slowing down and taking it a little easier. And then another thing that I found really positive out of this was not spending as much on eating out, which is just better for my health in general. So I'm not spending money on food, as much on food, and I'm not eating as much junk. So being a little healthier. And from other people, somebody said spending more time with their kids. Another said spending more time with family in general. And then another person said getting more projects done around the house. So like, I know my one friend said she was like painting her kitchen cabinets. Another said they finally like fixed a railing on like a deck outside their house. So just doing like things around the house, like fixing things that they might have not had a lot of time to get a chance to do before. And then another one that I really liked someone pointed out was a cleaner environment and less pollution. So like, I'm sure some people have seen those videos circulating on like the waterways in Italy, how like they're crystal clear now, and before like you couldn't even see the bottom of them. So that was another one I really liked. Oh, and then I found a study that said that environmental pollution has actually gone down by 30%. So I think that's a really good positive out of all this. And then just a couple things that I hope come out of this, that it'll be like a wake-up call on how broken the government is, how broken the healthcare system is, and just like give people a better appreciation for even like grocery store workers, like people who have to just check out people's groceries at the grocery store, or just like how important, and this is my opinion, I don't know who like all would agree with me or who agrees with me, but like how important vaccines are, and be like maintaining hygiene is. And then something else I found along those lines that I hope people find positive like out of this is just like the implications of our actions and how we're all connected, and just the weight of humanity. And just a final one is just how our actions affect everyone else around us. Even if we don't think they do, they do. So those are just a couple things that I hope other people, like other positives, I hope will come out of all of this.
Yeah, I agree, Abby. I hope some of those positives come out of it too. Okay, well, that's our time. We just want to give you, everyone watching this video, we just want to give you encouragement during this time. It's so easy to get bombarded with all the negative things that are happening for us and all the things that are going bad during this time. Just take a moment to sit back and reflect of all the good things that have come, and even if it's better communication with your family members, even if it's time for yourself, time for you to sit down, take a relaxing bubble bath. If you've had any time to do anything for yourself and not be rushing around in a world where everything is so fast paced and by the minute, sit back and take a second just to think about what good has come of this time and just be thankful for that. We encourage you to do that. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye until next time.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.